And they've got all these slick Republicans up there with their talking points playing along with the game. And you've got all the slick Democrats out there with their talking points repeating the same stuff just in different ways that is on the surface opposed to each other. But then you pull back and realize it's all smoke and mirrors. I mean, Bush tripled the size of government. Bush signed on to man-made global warming theory. Bush tried to reauthorize the assault weapons ban. And Obama's continued the wars and continued the Patriot Act and continued everything Bush did. Because there's no difference between these people. Certainly, you can get Republicans elected coming up in about a year from now in the 2010 congressional election, and all the polls show the Democrats are going to lose control of the House. But you watch. Those Republicans aren't going to be able to repeal the health care bill. Oh, they just won't be able to repeal the greenhouse gas tax bill. Oh, they just won't be able to repeal any of it. Just like Obama couldn't stop the wars. Oops, he had to make them even bigger. Because there's an elite agenda, and the Republicans and the Democrats are there to carry it out together. But I thought I'd go over some of the subsections of the bill. Pelosi, buy a $15,000 policy or go to jail. This is from the Ways and Means Committee. Ways and Means Committee, Ranking Member Dave Camp. Today, Ranking Member of the House Ways and Means Committee, Dave Camp, released a letter from the Nonpartisan Joint Committee on Taxation confirming that the failure to comply with the individual mandate to buy health insurance contained in Pelosi's health care bill, H.R. 3962, as amended, could land people in jail. The JCT letter makes clear that Americans who do not maintain acceptable health insurance coverage and who choose not to pay the bill's new individual mandate tax, generally 2.5% of income above $250,000, it's 5%, are subject to numerous civil and criminal penalties, including criminal fines and up to $250,000 and imprisonment for up to 5 years. Now that is in the bill. I didn't just believe the Ways and Means Committee, and I didn't believe the Ways and Means Committee on Taxation. I actually went to the bill, and it does say that. And it says in page 2 of H.R. 3962, they didn't hide this, that if the government determines that a taxpayer's unpaid tax liability results from a willful behavior, the following penalties could apply due to non-payment of deductible insurance. And look, last week I showed you that in Illinois, they're already issuing a federally written taxpayer handbook that says by federal law, this money has to be withheld out of your check for the government-controlled insurance rule. Now, you look at Australia, England, Germany, other places. This is actually in the news today. If you're only making, say in England, 10,000 pounds a year, your blue collar, that's around $18,000. And you can't pay the 20% tax they've got there. I mean, 20% of your money there goes towards your insurance. Oh, you've got free government health care, 20% of your paycheck. Don't worry, though. Here, they're just going to start out with 10% of your paycheck, and then the bureaucracy will use most of it and then give some to the insurance companies and to the big mega, they have big pharma, big agribusiness for farming. Well, it's the same thing here, big mega healthcare. And big mega healthcare is lobbied for all this because they've got the lawyers and the computer systems and the secretaries and the big high-rise of buildings of bureaucrats. They want all of this. This is going to shut down your small hospitals, shut down your small dental offices. I mean, they're already all shut down. You want big box Walmart healthcare, you're going to get it. And you're going to get crappy healthcare, too. You're going to get an aspirin for a heart attack. I mean, it's admitted in Europe and in England. I've watched the House of Commons during Prime Minister's questions back when Tony Blair was in, and they'd say, my constituent, we had to wait 18 months for a brain surgery and died. It was operable within 6 months. And Tony Blair goes, yes, I'm aware of these cases, and it's unfortunate, but that's the way the rationing works due to the system. I mean, they don't even deny it over there. But here, the controlled left goes, oh, no, there's no rationing in Canada or Germany or England. That's all lies. And the truth is, here in the U.S., nobody gets turned away for health care. You go to the emergency room, you get taken care of. You had free health care. Now you're going to lose it. The illusion. Then you read the internal UN documents. They say they're going to wreck the society so bad that you're not going to be able to even pay to have children. And when you can't pay to feed your kids because there's no jobs, the government's going to come and raise them in dormitories. That is in Ecoscience, written by White House science czar Holdren. And the reason they're getting away with this is because the public, by and large, are a bunch of cowards. A bunch of fat, unhealthy, stupid sports fans who think America is Disney World, who think there's nothing evil on the planet, who think everything's fine, who think it's a social disease to care, that it's a social disease to get upset, that it's a social disease to be involved, that it's weird and scary, and ooh, that Alex Jones reads bills. He's a freak. He read what Ban Ki-moon said at the UN. Yeah, did you hear him? He said Ban Ki-moon's calling for a world government. Alex is bad. It isn't bad that some foreign corporate holding company called the UN is openly taking over our country and that we're going to be paying taxes directly to private banks on breathing and our cars and everything else we do, and that they're going to have taxes on children to begin with. Doesn't matter if the U.S. and British governments paid China tens of billions of dollars and allowed them to be the new industrial center because they agreed to kill children when somebody has more than one child. Yeah, you don't want to know that all came from the U.S. You don't want to know that once they bankrupt us and bring in communism, they're going to do that here. Because communism isn't some freak with a beard with a red star. Those are just hired thugs by the bankers who come and kill the middle class and then enslave everybody else and re-engineer society. When the bankers' shock troops show up, they don't tell you that they're coming from the bankers. They tell you, we're here from the people. Now bayonet the libertarians, bayonet the middle class, and the big screaming hordes of dumbed-down, fluoride-drinking Prozac sports fans are going to line you and your families up and gun you down, screaming to the red banners, thinking they're getting something free. That's how the New World Order works. The big bankers fund the poor people to come in and gang rape anybody who's got $5 in their pocket. Because the bankers don't want you having money. They don't want you living well. They don't want you owning property. And they're going to learn you. They're going to teach you that everything you get comes from the government mammary glands. That everything you are and everything you ever are comes from the government. Your ranches, your farms are all in the process of being taken right now. You're just going to be tenants on them under the animal ID, premises ID. They're openly putting cameras in all the newborn babies' parents' homes in England to, quote, make sure they're good parents, guilty until proven innocent. It's now being proposed here. They're now making parents in England get licenses just to take their kids out in public. They're going to bring that here. All of that is happening. Homeland Security, we have released the secret documents. It's made national news. The FBI's admitted it. The whole Homeland Security system, and they even teach the FBI guys this, is not for fake guys in turbans 8,000 miles away. It's for gun owners. It's for landowners. It's for conservatives. It's for libertarians. It's for people that know how to read and study and know the Federal Reserve is an illegitimate foreign corporate government over our U.S. And so I just want all of you to know something. I want all of you to understand something, and I want it to sink in real good. They have passed a law where not only does the government take money out of your paycheck, but if you don't go out and they take money out of your paycheck and make you go get insurance. And if you don't get the insurance they want, they're going to lock your butt up for 5 years and a $250,000 fine. And you believe me, they're going to lock you up, and those SWAT teams are just ready to come and grab you and drag you by your hair into them. They enjoy beating up the stupid slaves. We'll be right back.